Hi, everybody. Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Angela of Vegan Pop Eats. And we are going to get started very soon. I hope you're doing great. Thanks for joining. Hi there. Thanks for joining. And I want to invite you to check out my previous lives if you haven't seen those already. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You look so great.
You too. You too. I feel like this is the Angel and Angela show.
Yes. I'm here for it.
So I have a friend who kind of, I guess was making like a fun comment about my Instagram lives, and he was like, "Oh yeah, let me go see what's on the Angel show today." So I feel like this is the Angel and Angela show today.
Yes, the double A, the double A.
I know. And a lot of people call me Angela. And so I'm so used to people calling me that. And especially like when I go to like Spanish speaking countries, they call me Angela or, which is Angel, which is
Right.
Angela in English. And so I'm so used to people calling me, or when they're typing, it like goes to Angela. So
I wish they would call me Angel.
you're wishing for the reverse, right? I hear you. I hear you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much, Angela, for taking the time to join us and share this time with all of us. I know you're super busy. Everyone's super busy, and I want to say hi to everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. And I invite you to put your questions and comments down below for Angela, and she'll be happy to answer as we go along.
Yes.
And also, let me just wave at our guests here. So, Angela, we have so much to cover.
Yes.
You and I have spoken on Clubhouse, and I know you have lots going on other social media platforms, which we'll talk about in a moment. But it was really super cool to connect with you, your voice anyway, on Clubhouse the other day. And so, yeah, I think we should just jump right in because we have a lot to
Yes.
cover.
Yes. I'm
Awesome.
super
So,
excited. First of all, thank you so much for even want to have me on a live, because it makes me giddy, because I'm like, oh my God, somebody actually wants to talk to me. That's amazing.
a lot of people want to talk to you.
Oh
It's
wow.
just, I think it's because you're just talking to everybody else, I mean, you know, you're like the talk show expert here. So
I'm
I think a
trying to
lot,
get there. Well, now
yeah,
I'll not say trying. I'm growing into that, and I'm, praying that the universe says that it is so, that it can be on a bigger platform. Um, because I really enjoy, talking to people, finding out what their journeys are. And I mean, I went to school for journalism. My degree's in journalism and also public relations. And yeah, I started off as a publicist, but um, I've always worked in and out of hospitality because I just knew that I wanted to be in entertainment in some way, shape, or form. But I'm a military brat, so I spent half of my life overseas, and then I came over this way. But I didn't have like a path on how I was going to get there, because I went to college in a small town. I went to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Hey, Queen Mixie. Hey, girl. And I didn't really have like mentors, and I didn't have like people who, when I see my peers and how they are progressing compared to what I'm doing, I didn't have like a mentor, or I didn't have anybody who would lead me on the conventional way. Because like I tell everybody, even after I graduated college, I still was taking internships. I still was, yeah, I was big grown talking about, yeah, I'm working for free so I can get this,
yeah.
resume together.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
when I moved to New York, it was after my mom passed, and that was like on my journey to becoming a vegan, because I knew that it was in the food and things of that nature. So when I came here, I almost had to start over, because I had stayed home for like 3 to 4 years taking care of her.
Yeah.
So that was 3 or 4 out of my, my life that I put on pause. And then when I got here, I had to retake hosting classes. I had, even though I feel like I'm a natural talent, people say that I am a natural talent, but I still had to get that, the shine on it because, I hadn't been on TV since college almost, except for little things that I was doing here and there, trying to, figure out how to make a reel. Girl, if I could show you the shenanigans, you would gag. And
no. I just want to jump in and say though, and we're going to get to this too, but I really enjoyed watching your YouTube videos. You are natural. You are a natural. I'm just going to insert that there. I just want to insert that there because you have a lot of talent, and I think your personality, I think, really shines through. But continue.
And so when I was here, I've been in New York 6 years, going on 6 years. I had to retake my hosting classes, teleprompting classes, and all of that. And it ran through my money that I had because I was just like, gung ho, and I didn't have anyone to be like, well, Angela, you need to be here to do this. You need here to be that. I would just, was just going through, what I thought made sense. And I was sending out my resume, sending out my, reel to all these different places, and nobody was checking for me. Yeah. Nobody was checking for me. Yeah. And so I had met a girl, Latresa, and Latresa. I always say her name wrong, and she just be looking at me like, girl, get your life in order. And she, she happened to be in media or whatever. And, she was the first one who let me be on, I think she was my very first red carpet here. I'm not for sure, but she connected me to a woman named Empress Lanice, and she was doing a talk show out of Brick Media. And so for 2 years, I was like the host, co-host, and that's how I got in, getting the things that I needed to get to. But fast forward to, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was thinking that nobody was really talking about veganism. And when I did know about veganism, people were talking about how, how stuffy it is, how dry it is, and things of that nature. And I was just like, I'm not stuffy. Yeah. Dope over here on the green side. We got we eating. And so my first segment, because Empress let us do our own segments, I did a segment with trying to convert my producer to eating vegan food. And my very first video was at Urban Kitchen in the off 4th Street. And, I gave her some vegan mac and cheese. And then I was just like, you know what, this can be a thing. So I started, doing it. And then, when COVID hit, that's when I really was like, because my brand is only like a year and a half old, technically. Yes. And that's when I was just like, oh, okay, we got time. They're giving us unemployment. Let me see, so I dropped my t-shirts to see if that was, that was something. But the biggest lesson that I learned was that people have to be checking for you to drop t-shirts, Angela. Yeah. Even though I sold, I sold, I think about 40, 50 t-shirts.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But that's when I was just like, okay. And I saw that the girls were doing IG lives, and I was like, I'm about to do an IG live. So that's how it all started. And then, what's so crazy about a journey is that you don't realize all the good things that you've done. Other people will be like, oh my God, Angela, you did this, this, and this. And I'm just like, man, I ain't done nothing. So one day I sat down and I saw that in this year and a half, I have done over 100 videos. 100 interviews, or I like to call them conversations. Yeah. With the people in our space. Yeah. And slowly but surely, people are really like, yo, this is sort of dope. And I always say that my conversion rate is 100%. So I just want everyone to, understand that being on the green side is dope. It's not stuffy. You can have luxury and be, popping without harming anybody. Yeah. That was long-winded, girl. You get me talking, I'll be like,
no. I love it. I know someone who used to say with me, he was like, it's like with me, he says, with you, it's like you hit the on button and it's So I think you're a little bit like me in that sense as well. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Please put your questions and comments down below for Angela, and she'll be happy to answer. So Angela, let's backtrack a teeny tiny bit, if you're willing, to your vegan journey, how you started and how you ended up to where you are today.
Okay,
Please.
so I started about I think it's coming up on my 6 years. And I started in veganuary. And I was already a vegetarian.
Yes.
You know, I had already started to give up my last was seafood. Like I love a good mussel, I love a good shrimp or whatever, but you know, for veganuary, as most people know, that it's a UK holiday or conversion for everybody to give up meat for 30 days, and then hopefully that's the catalyst for you to cross over, you know, full-fledged. So I did it for 30 days and I just kept going. And I'm not saying that I didn't have any fallbacks, because, you know, cheese used to call my name because I live in New York. We have the best pizza slices and things of that nature. But I never went back to meat. I never went back. Never went back. And so for me, it was more so like I said with my mom, you know, I knew it had to do with the food. I knew, like, you know, some of my relatives deal with diabetes and things of that nature. And I just didn't. My biggest thing is that I don't want to be an older person knowing that I did something to my body intentionally. See, there's a difference, because like diabetes and certain kinds of diseases, and this is just my opinion, and it could be fact, could not be fact, is that that's something that you do to your body unless you were born with it.
Right. There's a type 1 and a type 2.
Right.
Exactly.
So for me, you know, I'm on the, you know, the journey to end up being my optimum health. Because if you look like on my IG and stuff like that, I'm always in the gym. Always in the gym.
I saw your story and you're like, yeah, I'm on my way to the gym. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm on my way to the gym, but don't let the IG fool you. I get there and I'm still on that. I'm on my way to the gym. Like if you go all the way back, it's like I'm on my way to the gym. But I said this year was my year of elevation, because the one thing that I always talk about is me getting into shape. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get started, and then one compliment and it's over. I'm back to I done showed up. And that's the facts. And so I was saying this year, I was like, you know what, Angela, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. And if this year, if you don't do it, don't talk about it no more. Because at this point, you're just wanting to hear yourself talk.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you know, you're really showing like how human we are and how much we do rely on external validation.
Right.
And I know I also, you know, went through this as well. And it's just, I mean, I just want to applaud you for, first of all, you know, being so honest about it. I'm sure there are loads of people out there who feel the same way, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a compliment, and oh well, now I can kind of, you know, relax because I've arrived, you know.
You give me a compliment, it's over. Like, oh, what? You don't see it? Oh, okay. And then I'm back in them streets again, and it's like,
I love
Angela, that was one compliment. You need 4 in order for it to stick.
I love that. So we have a commenter that says that's real, and then we have another one that says 80% of chronic illnesses manifest due to lifestyle.
Yes, that's the Eat School. I love her, Jenny. You need to get to know her.
Awesome.
Her brand is phenomenal.
Awesome.
She's a holistic nutritionist, and she teaches women, how to get their lives together as far as eating vegan and things of that nature. And her journey started off with she discovered that she had lupus. She was able to, you know, get herself together through proper nutrition and proper eating. So I love her to death. She came on my live and we got connected, and now it's like, yeah,
that's awesome. I love that. So tell us a bit more. So you did veganuary. And, you know, of course, there were some kind of, you know, I don't know what we could call it, challenges along the way during this veganuary challenge, because
I was greedy.
No. You know, well, you mentioned cheese. Cheese is very addictive.
I
You know,
know.
there's that
But
casein in there. It's super addictive.
but I call it lazy. I call it myself because I'm a realist. I was lazy, to be honest.
No,
And
I
for
don't think
me,
so.
that's my reality, because I didn't feel like at that point I was just like, I really didn't understand how
Yeah,
serious it was.
that's it. I
So,
think that's what
you
it is,
know,
and I can relate. Yes, that's more of what it is. I think.
but I was lazy too, Angel. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you, because where I lived at, it was like walking straight line. The pizza place was
Oh,
there, and
they're
then I had to go
everywhere.
all the way around the corner to get some vegan cheese. So you
Yeah,
know,
they're everywhere.
but I don't regret any of it,
Right, right.
because the purpose of my brand is not for someone to be beat up with it, because I'm
Yeah,
thankful if you do a meatless Monday,
yeah,
because at least
yeah,
you are attempting, because it takes baby steps to get
yeah.
to the point where you are,
Mhm,
to
mhm,
really be like, you know what, I'm gonna stand in this because I've
mhm.
done these different things. And it doesn't make me any less of a vegan, it doesn't make me less of someone, but I think what makes you less of a vegan is if you just, and part of my French,
Yeah.
don't give a damn. You know what
Right,
I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And
right,
that's what
right,
I think.
right,
And
right,
as long
right.
as you're making that step,
Mhm,
don't,
mhm.
because we have people in our community are really like, oh, you didn't jump out the window and now you're still, no, it's not about that, because
Yeah.
we're humans. And
Mhm.
so with anybody who is human, that each one has a different language that you can speak to them with.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
however someone may speak to you, Angel, is not the same way they could possibly speak to me, because you have to understand how someone listens and how someone relates to whatever you have going on.
And also, right, and I really think you're onto something very, very big, because it's like whatever resonates with you may not resonate with me,
Absolutely.
based on my life story and your life story, you know. And so
Absolutely.
I think you're super onto something. We have a comment here. Love that story. Ain't no disease. Creator gave us all cures. I love it
Yes.
here. Thank you so much there, Monique. Yeah. And you have a love you sis here. So there you go. Awesome. Yeah, no, you're right. No, I mean, I can relate. So I was vegetarian, pescatarian for over 20 years before I went vegan. I was just living in my
Hmm.
own little bubble, quite frankly. And even when I thought I had converted to veganism, I was really plant-based because I didn't understand it was a whole lifestyle, like beauty
Right.
care, clothing, and all of that. So I had to learn that on my journey. And then I also was, for example, when I was like running through an airport and there were no vegan options, in my mind I was like, oh well, I'll just have this one vegetarian quiche right here, or
Right.
this croissant, because I don't have a meal on the flight, etc., etc. Oh, it's a transatlantic flight, da, da. And I would tell myself, oh yeah, well, I'll just do it this once, and then like you're saying, it's like once I really fully understood what was happening, to the animals, to my own health and the planet, I was like, all right, Angel, no, you need to figure this out. So then once it clicked, I remember I was in an airport and I ended up having like a plain bagel. I guess it's made out of flour, water, and salt. And I was like, well,
Right.
Angel, this is your choice. This is you made this decision. So eat it and move on. you know? So I can relate to that though. It's like once it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah. So that's my story, and it's still a work in progress, because through the different conversations that I have, I got the opportunity to talk to Dr. Aris Latham, and he
Yes,
gave me, when I say he gave me the business,
I watched it. I
I
was,
was like a scrambled egg with no egg. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
no, I
and I
know.
was thankful for that, because that's the purpose
Mm,
of conversations, because there's so much misinformation out there, and it's important for, if you have the information, for you to give,
yes.
and what I was thankful for is that he was making an honest effort,
Mm,
so I would be, my mind would be open enough to be
mm,
like, okay, well, let me rediscover, or let me think about, how I want to show up in my vegan space. He wasn't
mm.
telling me that I had to, different things like that. But
Yeah.
what he did do,
Yeah.
he reiterated and inspired my, like, raw journey. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
he keeps it real and raw, and I'm a big fan of his. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
put it
I
just
said
gonna
I
put
want to
it
go to one of
mildly.
his retreats. Like, that's
Yes,
on my vision board. But the
yes.
purpose of, you know, the lifestyle and things of that nature, I think it's about more inspiring people to, you know, make the best decision for themselves, because
Mm,
not all of us are, and I'm not making an excuse, because
right.
there's vegan options everywhere.
Yeah.
If you
Nowadays,
really
yeah.
if you really want to, because even if you go to the Dollar Tree, if you
Mm-hmm,
really want to be about that life, you'll
mm-hmm,
make a way. And even if it might be, you know, inconvenient for you to cook
mm,
as much,
mm.
maybe it means that you need to, you know, on a Sunday, just cook all day and you meal prep for the whole week. Who knows what your journey is? But I think what I really enjoy about being in this space is that every day I'm inspired to do
Yeah.
better, and every day I'm inspired to learn a little bit more about, you know, being in this space.
Yeah, and Angela, I think like when you started all those years ago, it was not as easy. It was not as convenient as it is today. And
Mhm.
so I really love, your tagline, I guess, or your title there, concierge to the green side. I really love that because you do, help people along the way. And I think it is much easier, although a lot of people still struggle. And
Mhm.
so I know that you are on a raw vegan challenge, and I know that the Dr. Addis Letham, who you spoke with, is definitely raw. He calls it sun fired. And so why did you decide to do this raw vegan challenge, and how is that going?
Well, I decided because for some, I think that with being a vegan and being in the space, you become in tune with your body. And for some reason, and I don't eat bad, but I can eat better. And I was transitioning as far as, you know, I moved away from the, you know, the space that had been living in for 6 years, moved into a new space. And then, you know, I had to readjust because, you know, the things that were, you know, easily get convenience is not as convenient as it is now, but I'm in a better space. So with that going on, and then just, you know, just being like not making it a priority, I guess, because, you
Mm.
know, I don't eat a lot of junk food, but I do eat, you know, I'll eat vegan, you know, rice or, you know,
Mm-hmm,
something
mm-hmm.
like that, but that's
Yeah.
not a constant thing. And for the most part, my eating is predominantly raw, but
Yeah.
I will, you know, eat and stuff like that. But I
Mm.
won't say that I'm 100% raw, but I
Right.
was just like, let me go ahead and do this challenge. So I completed 30 days, and
Awesome.
I think 25 last year, because John Sally
Mm.
was like, you need to do 90 days, and I did it for 30 days, and then I was off for 2 days, and now I'm back on it because I really enjoy
Yeah.
raw eating. I
Yeah.
do. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes me feel like I got my affairs in order.
I agree totally.
That's what it makes me feel like. And
I agree.
it's sort of reignited because there's different like right now I'm trying to um um get this peanut sauce together because I found some
Mm.
kelp noodles.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
though you can make those raw too.
right, I got the kelp noodles, and I'm just like, this peanut sauce has me in a chokehold. So I tried to do a peanut butter and a tahini, and I brought
Mm.
it to some of my friends that I know that cook. And you know, I'm always proud of whatever shenanigans I'll throw into a container or whatever. And they were like, you need sesame oil, you need salt, you need this,
Oh,
you
I
need that.
saw your post about sesame oil.
Yes. And
Yeah.
now I did not know that sesame oil was that girl. She's that girl. She is that girl. Because
Interesting.
when I added it to it, I was just like, and I'm gonna tell you the story. The reason
Game
why I didn't
changer.
get sesame oil because I was being lazy, talking about I didn't want to pay $10-15 for some sesame oil. And
Yeah.
normally, which is a hack, you need to go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Burlington Coat Factory because that's where you get all your oils, all your luxury salts, the black salts, the Himalayas, the peppers, and all that other stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll up to Home Goods. The girl was like, girl, sesame oil is gone. because you can get huge containers for like $7 versus the 10, 15 like this. And so I just took my tail over to the little Asian Mart, got my little sesame oil, and now we're best friends.
Oh, we have a comment here. Let's go on the treat together, Queen.
Yes.
Someone here has a peanut sauce recipe.
Yes.
There we go.
So
TJ Maxx for the win.
Yes. I'm telling you, any kind of gourmet salt, sun-dried tomatoes, any kind of gourmet salt seasoning you need, you go there, because I have a avocado oil. Like it's huge. Like it's huge. And I only got it for like $6. But if I would have gotten at the grocery
in the
store,
supermarket, you get a teeny tiny one. Not for way more than that. Like probably double.
Yes. So
that's a tip, huh?
Girl. So
that's
now,
a tip.
So with the raw, it was just, it just feels good. And in the summer and springtime, that's what I mostly eat anyway.
Yeah. I know some people who go raw in the summer. I personally like raw all year round, to be honest. And in the winter, it's not a problem for me, to be honest. And what I do is I use a lot of warming spices, like in smoothies. And that way I can, keep it, it warms my body and warms my energy. And also, not putting like foods in the fridge and all that jazz, in the freezer and all that jazz. So I do have like workarounds, like little, hacks, I guess you could call it. So I enjoy it all year round, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I need some of your recipes, because
I'm almost finished with my detox smoothies recipe. So I'll have to let you know when they're out.
Oh yes. What are you doing, an ebook?
Yeah.
I'm also starting on an ebook where I'm going to show, because people are always asking me like, what are the hottest spaces here in New York? So I'm working on that now.
Yeah.
Hoping to have it done, in the next week or so, because I have all of the information. It's just sitting down and putting it together. And then I found a woman on Fiverr who's going to format it the way it needs to look and stuff like that. So I'll give her, just the bones of it, and she can make it into an entree.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this takes us then to our next topic, which is your IG Live series. So I have already told you this when we chatted on Clubhouse, and I'm going to just say it again. I applaud you for, what some people would call audacity, what some people would call courage, what some people would call, all kinds of other words, which I won't say. But my point is that, I feel like you just go for the gold. You just go for it, in the sense that you don't even worry about like what the stature is of the guest. You just say, hey, this person may have 100 million followers, and I am just going to ask them anyway. So I just want to applaud you for that, because
thank you.
It can be very intimidating, and I'm going to be very honest here, that I find, these super popular guests to be super intimidating, and I'm really working through that. I have to be honest with you. And so you have just proven that there's no need to be intimidated. So tell us about your IG Live stories. Why did you start these interviews? And I guess how do you choose your guests?
Well, the reason why I started was because with COVID, we weren't out and about. But I was just like, okay, and COVID was a horrible time, but it was also an enlightening time, because I honestly felt like, the universe was saying, okay, so all of y'all out here saying, I don't have time to do this, I don't have this and this, I'm gonna sit y'all down for a year and a half and see if y'all gonna make it shake. Oof. That's how I honestly thought about it. And even though we lost a lot of lives, through misinformation, through, compromised immune systems, just different things, I just honestly felt like the universe was testing me to say, Angela, are you really gonna bet on yourself? Like, there's no excuse right now. Y'all can't go nowhere. Like I mean, I was in it to win it. I even bought me, all the girls were stepping in the house. I bought me a stepper. Like I was in there like, I was in there like, oh, you know, the universe said make a shake. So I'm like, okay, so I have this thing, and I was seeing all the girls that, you know, inspire me, because I hate to, a lot of people, I think, get you noticing something to be a comparison, when a comparison is, oh, you know, she's this and I wish I was like this.
Yeah, we do compare ourselves. Yeah,
but
too
an
much.
inspiration is, oh, that's a possibility, I could do that.
Yes.
But I'm noticing how she's doing, you know, X, Y, and Z. So there are a lot of women that I, you know, are inspired by. And all the media girls were like, we doing IG lives, we out here, we doing IG lives. And I was just like, okay, we about to do these IG lives. And so I don't even remember my very first person, but the first, I knew the first one was Jessica from Invisible Vegan.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she was on.
Oh,
I had
Jasmine is awesome.
Yeah, Jasmine.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
I had Jennifer Stojovich from.
No, but there's another Jessica. There's a famous Jessica too. So I know who. Yeah, there's.
Oh, I don't. But Jasmine.
Yeah, I'll tell you after. Yeah.
And Jennifer Stojovich from Vegan Women's Summit. She was one of my first ones.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
I mean, I Like It Raw. Eosa, the Raw girl, was one of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
I also had an IG live with her. She's awesome too.
And I was just like, you know, let's see if somebody actually want me to talk to them about something. And I was just like, you know, I'm doing this IG live, and I, you know, the basis of it was like, I have a, you know, in two parts, because my show is Vegan Pop Eats, where I showcase all the hottest vegan spaces. And that's on YouTube. I've done three seasons, and I'm getting back started to film it with the goal of, you know, I want to be on a larger platform.
Yes, you deserve it.
I know plant-based living is the new it girl, and you know, my show is dope. I don't care.
No, I agree, and we're getting to that. We're getting to that too. No. I started off this conversation telling you that, and I agree with you. We're gonna dig deeper into that, but let's finish the IG live series conversation.
So I was just like, you know what? And I was like, well, how am I going to get to these people? So I was like, I'm about to be a notorious DM slider. And when I say I slide, and I slide with the motivation and the thought process, as in, you need to check for me now, because when I blow up, don't be looking like you don't want to talk to me. Don't be acting like you don't want to talk to me when I'm giving you a chance. So it was just so crazy.
On this train.
Yeah, get on the train. So yeah, Dreamy Sunshine. She was like, Sunshine. She's one of my first, like when I say she checks for me, she checks for me.
Oh.
Like, she reposts my stuff. She, you know, I remember, I think she was like one of the first people who ever was like, yo, what you're doing is good. And so when I started doing it, it was more so like, we stuck in the house. Y'all ain't talking to nobody. I'm not talking to nobody. Let's see how this is going to work. And so I was just, you know, I was on a mission, because I was just like, yo, I need to get my Instagram, you know, up, the followers up, the engagement up. And then I think the biggest one at that point, I had slid into John Sally's.
Oh wow!
I slid in his, and I didn't think he was gonna answer me back, to be honest. But I kept going. Like, when he wouldn't answer me, I'd be like, "Did you see my DM?"
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'll go right on their page. Whatever they posted.
Right, because really, some of them don't see it. I'm gonna be honest. Some of them really don't see it, because if they're not following you, they're not gonna see it. For true, like for real.
But they'll post whatever their picture is. Their picture could be like, "Oh, my son turned 1, da da da," and underneath it, you'll see Vegan Bobby's talking about, "Did you see my DM?" Exactly. And I kept going, and then
I
he
love
even
it.
said it. And I was like, thank you so much for taking, you know, I was like, thank you so much for being on my show. He was like, you were so persistent. And I was just like,
Oh, it
I mean,
pays
I
off.
said, well, you was acting like you didn't want to talk to me.
No, it pays off. And we actually have a comment here. Let me see. We have, for example, well, we have a dope Angie. This is awesome. Congratulations.
That's
Lots
a
of
Davi.
applause.
Yeah.
Yes, you just go for it. Love that. The answer is already no if you don't ask. That
Yes.
is so true. The universe said you got time now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You got
agree with
time
that.
now. And what's so funny about it is that, you know, I have a lot of confidence. Like
You do.
anybody who knows me will be like, I don't care if I, because right here I'm with the struggle braids and I'm up here talking like, y'all need to check for me.
Struggle
but
braids are a thing. They're a vibe,
but
okay?
I just always felt like you know, why not? Like
I agree.
why not? And I've always been like that because like I'm not an ageist. I'm not someone who feels like there's an expiration date
I
for whatever
agree.
you got going on. Because
I
your
agree.
expiration date is when you're in the ground.
I agree with you.
And there's a lot of people who have dreams deferred, or there's a lot of people who feel like, oh, because and not to get off topic because you know,
No, it's
but
fine.
you know, I find that with people, they are so obsessed with, you know, someone's age, or they're
Yes.
so obsessed with, you know, but and I stopped telling people how old I am.
Oh, me
Like,
too.
I'm a vampire.
I don't tell people either.
And the reason why,
Unless there's a guy who wants to date me, I'll
right.
tell him. Other than that, I don't tell people.
And I say that to say because I realized that people, it holds no monetary value. It holds no monetary value.
I agree.
And the reason why people want to know, in order for them to feel good about where they are and what they are doing.
I also think it's because then they can like put a label on you and judge you and kind of categorize you and kind of define you by it. And for me, it's totally irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. And they want to make themselves feel good about, you know, well, why aren't you? Or why didn't you? Or, oh, you're not this. Who said? And now we're finding out now that all the things that we thought to be true, like for instance, everyone was so obsessed that we need to get all of these college degrees. And there are people who are working that's just barely got out of high school. And they're multimillionaires. There's this, there's that. So that's showing you that the society thoughts are not real. They're not
Preach. Oh, I love this.
They're not real. So
well, look at the creators. Look at the creators of these like social platforms that we are actually on at the moment, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, a lot of them decided they're not even going to finish college. Like, for what?
And I'm sitting here with 3 degrees.
I am too.
I'm sitting here with 3 degrees.
2, and then a third one from a plant-based academy. Okay, so
right. And I'm building this platform. So most people would be like, well, dang, you know, you're starting over. Yeah, I'm starting over because I took 4 years out of my life.
Yes.
And while I was nursing a sickly parent.
Yes.
You know, it made me realize what I wanted to, and like I've always wanted to be on TV. That's what like when I went to college. I'll never forget this. I had already graduated. With my first degree, which is in fashion marketing, because I swore I was going to be a buyer for.
Yeah, you're very fashionable, though.
Girl, not yet. I'm getting there.
No, but even on your IG series and on your YouTube, you know, videos, you're very fashionable. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. And
we have a comment here.
That's a Davi. Advertising show.
Ladies, I have a show on Station Head. Download the app and tune in with I Am Adavi. Catch up with Adavi. All right.
That's Adavi. I know who she is. Adavi, please don't make me pop you. But so when I did an internship at NBC. Like not NBC, but WMBC,
Oh,
which
got
is
you,
this
got
major
you.
broadcasting cable network, and they were supposed to be the competition for BET. It was in Atlanta,
Oh,
Georgia.
oh.
And I was there, and I was a PA assistant. And my job was to organize all of the reels that were coming in, because they were starting a news channel, stuff like that. And, you know, I had never seen that. I had, you know, and I was going through the box, and I was just like, what is all this? And they're like, yeah, these are all the anchors and the, you know, on-air talent that's, you know, trying to audition for this show. And I was like, I can do that.
Uh-huh.
And they were just like, well, because I had only had a 2-year degree at that time.
Uh-huh.
They were like, well, you need to get a 4-year degree before you know, be able to do this. It was a light bulb, because I'm the type of person that if you tell me how to do it,
Yeah,
you only have
you're
to tell
gonna
me
go
once,
for
and
it.
I'm like,
Yeah, you're
like
going for it.
a rock wire. So that night, and that was when was it Kinko's?
Yeah.
That used to be open when people would go and get, you know, go to the computers if you didn't have a computer
Oh,
at not
yes.
computer. And I was there, and right
Yes.
after that, and I had stayed up to like 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to research what school I could go to, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be on TV, da 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 da. So I called my mom, and she was in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was just like, Mom, I'm gonna come home if there is a school that has broadcasting for me to go back to, and if they don't have one, I'm just gonna figure it out. She was like, oh, you could come home and go to Fayetteville State. And I was like, Fayetteville State? Because all they had was radio.
Oh,
they had radio based.
Yeah.
So I found out about University of North Carolina at Pembroke, and they were I think an hour away from my house.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And so I was just like, done.
That's pretty good.
I'm like, oh, send my stuff off, blah, 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 blah. And I knew that it was meant for me to do this because, you know, while I was applying, even though I had a 2-year, even though I had a degree, which really, what's it called? It cancels out.
You get credits.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you get credits.
And so they tried to say that they needed my high school diploma.
Oh.
And the school that I had graduated from had burnt down or something like that. So there's no records of me graduating except for my high school diploma. So on the last day, they were like, okay, we're going to let you in. And I was like, oh my God, da, 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 da. So in order to become an anchor, you had to audition. And I had never read a teleprompter. I had never, you know, hold on 1 minute. I'm sweating.
Yeah. No worries. Take your time. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you so much for joining. Great to see you.
I'm sitting right up on my heater. Please pay me no mind. And I was just like, you know, I had to audition. And when I auditioned, I hit it on the first, like, it was like, oh, I got it. And I was an anchor all through. I was an anchor and reporter all through the rest of the time. I had got it on that day.
Amazing.
And I was just
congratulations.
Like, you know, I knew that that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been pursuing ever since. And then, you know, with my mom passing, it was almost like, you know, what do you really want to do? Because whenever you're dealing with someone who is passing, you start to think about their dreams deferred. You start thinking about, like, you know, if this was it, are you happy with, you know, how you choose to use your life? Yeah. And one of my biggest things is that I just want my ancestors to be proud of me. And I don't want to get to the gate and they ask me what I'm doing, and all I say is that I was popping gum. I just feel like that would be an embarrassment. And I feel like, you know, it's important. Some people might not feel like it is because nobody want to know about their history anymore and stuff like that. But for me, and knowing what people sacrifice, even my mom, you know, she was a single mother, and she made sure I had everything. And she had a support system that made sure I had everything that I needed.
Beautiful.
So it would be a disgrace and disrespectful for me to just be like, oh, I'm just out here kicking it, doing whatever, you know. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm very, like, to the point. And
Yeah.
if it's not making any sense for you to be doing it, you don't
Yeah.
tell me. You tell one of your other little friends, because I'll be looking at you like, really? You got time for that? And I'm no better because I procrastinate and all the other stuff. But
We all do.
At the same time, I'm really 10 toes down on how I see my life and who I choose to be in my life. I'm very a matter of fact with the people that are in my life. I don't play with that. And if you show me that you are not about it, I won't check for you no more. My cutoff game is swift and strong. Like
Well, you have to
play.
protect your energy. You have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And you do need people who are going to support you. We have a comment here. Love you, Angela. This is a great conversation. Love what you are doing. I'm working to get like you.
That's Adavi, because I be in Adavi's face too. She know that.
Oh, Father.
But I love her. Like, she is super dope too. She's in media as well. Adavi is super dope.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adavi, for your good energy here. Yeah. So that takes us then to your Black History Month series.
Yes.
That you just completed. I know you're doing a lot on the Women's Month, and that's amazing as well. So tell us about your Black History series. I mean, I think we can guess why you wanted to do this, but first of all, I want to applaud you for like really putting the spotlight on Black History Month and all of your guests. So tell us a bit about, your series and whatever you want us to know about that. And, invite everyone to catch up on what we didn't get to watch during that month.
Well, the purpose of it was that I knew it was Black History, but a lot of times I had I had never seen anything like specific as far as, because I was very conscious of talking about our vegan leaders and the people in the history space and stuff like that. And truth be told, it was like, I wanted to get content out there.
Of course.
Because my whole thing is that, I'm wanting to build this platform. And in order for you to have a successful platform, it's about, engagement. It's about people really sharing your, you giving content and giving value to someone. And for me, I felt like it was valuable because, in this year of 2022, we are not talking enough about our history. And for me, I feel that if we made that a priority, a lot of us wouldn't be lost right now. And a lot of us would have pride in who they are. And a lot of us would, I think that they would do things differently. But I also know that a lot of times that people don't want to know things is because that means that they'll be held responsible for what they do after they get the information. So I think that's my opinion, and that's my thought process on it. But with the vegan Black history, I just wanted to celebrate the ones who came before me, and and it was also something for me to learn, because like I said, I'm new in the vegan space. I've been a vegan for about 5 years, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know.
I agree. Me too.
It just inspired me more that these were people in the space that were just like, I care about us as a people. And, everyone knows, well, everyone don't know, but they should know that our health is our biggest currency.
Yes.
And what people don't, people don't put two and two together, because it's like, if they're keeping us sick, that means they don't have to worry about us. And the minute, because just in life, just even if I use this example, when it finally clicks for what you're really trying to do, the universe gets it together for you. And so with us as a people, we're not concerned about our health. We don't look at it as in that's our biggest currency. We look at it as in, oh, if I can floss on somebody, if I can, do whatever on somebody. But they're not looking at the it's black and white. If you're sickly, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. And they don't want you to do anything, because while you're sickly, they're making sure that they're healthy, and they're making sure that they have all the things they need to do. And I'm not talking about sickly just with health. I'm talking about sickly as in mentally, as in
Yeah.
spiritually, as
Yeah.
in physically.
Yeah.
Because if they're all not working in tune,
Uh-huh.
you're worried, like you'll be, your mind will be like, oh my God, let me do this, this, and this. When if you had your stuff together, you can concentrate and you'll be able to see that, oh, they're making millions of dollars off of this.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're mentioning this, because what I call this like the holistic approach, like the lifestyle approach, because we can have the most optimal diet and then our sleep is trash, our relationships are trash, our exercise is trash, our we're not like centering our minds through meditation and deep breathing and journaling and all of that. I mean, so I think you're onto something, and I look at it, like I said, holistic kind of head to toe approach. And so this is very important.
So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah. So let's go to your YouTube channel. So you are approaching season 4.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you approached your first 3 seasons. I've watched a few of your episodes.
Well, thank you so much.
And I really enjoyed, you're so together with it. The music is great. We have a LOL, I'm half trash. Oh dear. Maybe I shouldn't use that word.
It's
okay. And so in your YouTube videos, you just, you're, like I was saying, you're so fashionable. And I love when you're like sashaying down the sidewalk in some like, fashionable outfit, and whoever is, doing the cinematography is just like right there with you. And, the music is really nice too. And then, when you like interview all these people, I noticed like in the Moo Shoes one, you were kind of social distancing there. And then, because of course this was during all of this stuff. But it was really nice too to like see you tasting the food at one of the restaurants there, and like going through, the dishes in detail with the chef and everything. So tell us a bit, like, what is your goal with these, videos thus far, and if there's anything that you're changing going forward, please?
Well, truth be told, people think that my show is the IG series, but the show is actually a show where I showcase all the hottest vegan spaces. I educate and I meet you where you are in your journey. And the purpose of the show is to show you that you can eat good, you can have luxurious things. Like, moving forward, I'm wanting to more so showcase the lifestyle as a whole, because we have cannabis in our lifestyle. There's a huge cannabis community, and that's part of veganism and plant-based.
Now are you referring like to what we call CBD and all of that?
No, I'm talking about weed.
Okay, but because CBD is pretty big these days too.
But
that's kind of connected to what you're talking about.
Absolutely. I want the whole gamut, because the purpose of Vegan Pop East is to show you that you can have a life of abundance and not miss out. Because we have vegan fashion, we have vegan beauty products.
I saw you're interviewing someone.
Yes,
I think today. Oh my gosh!
And that's I want you to know that you can have everything that you want without harming someone. And one of the biggest things in this space is that people feel like they'll be missing out if they cross over. So the main thing with Vegan Pop Eats is to change the perception of living vegan through conversations, cuisines, conscious living, but making sure that it's dope over here on the green side. So with it going into its 4th season, because I had the opportunity to go to Miami last year, so that's going to be, a couple of it. But this season, I'm wanting to travel more, because the goal is to get that show on a major platform. And the goal is to, I want to drop products, and I want, I want to be a full, cohesive lifestyle brand.
I agree. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw the the viewer numbers on your videos, I was like, oh my gosh, this she needs more visibility here.
Yeah.
Like more people need to be watching these videos. And I have not watched every single one of your videos. However, what I am saying though is I think like the content that you're offering, especially like, I mean, considering that you're like in NYC, for goodness sakes, New York City. I mean, come on, like that's a humongous population just there.
Yeah.
And who either hasn't visited New York City or wants to visit New York City? I mean, there's just so much that you're offering. And I don't know. I mean, I'm really gonna like ratchet up, my sharing of your content
I
because
appreciate that.
no, because seriously, I mean, I know you and I connected, just recently on Clubhouse and all of that, but I really think that you have so much to offer, and you do need more visibility, seriously. And I used to live in Miami, okay? So I know that the vegan vibe is definitely improving there.
Right. And what I think that with New York is a good place. Like I could show you, places to eat and things like that. But what I found when I went to Miami, that their community is the full lifestyle. Then on top of that, they are really like open to whatever I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
And that's why I'm at the point now where I'm contemplating leaving New York to go and be in a more vegan friendly space, because of the fact that I am giving great content, and visibility is the only thing that I'm lacking. And so with that is, people have said, well, Angela, you might need a brand strategist, or you maybe need a publicist. So that's where I'm at now. But at the same time, I'm funding all of these things
I know
by myself.
It's hard.
So it's one of those things where, people send me grants and, just different things.
Nice.
I was fortunate enough that Veg Fund, and that's for anybody in the vegan space. If you have any kind of product or anything that you want to get done, Veg Fund gives grants.
Awesome.
Like they gave me my.
Thank you for mentioning that.
And it was $3,000 that they gave me, and it allowed me to finish up my last season. It allowed me to be able to have my videographer with me whenever I, went to wherever I was going. It's honestly, it was amazing. And
you all did a great job. I have to be honest. Like I said, I mean, just seeing you like sashay down there and the music going, it was like, man, I need to watch more of these videos.
Thank you. So I'm just really trying. This year is about intent and visibility. And I don't ask my, I guess I call them, they were named pop stars. I don't ask the pop stars, for much. The only thing that I ever ask anyone is that I want your social real estate. So if you see my stuff, all I ask is that you repost it. All I ask is that you share it, because you never know who may see it and be able to allow me to do it harder and bigger, because I work part-time at one of the hottest vegan spaces here in New York, and it's called Cadence. Yeah, I work in Cadence. And with Chef Shannari Greens, and she's going to be on tomorrow, and she just got nominated for the James Beard Award.
Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah, we've been in New York Times. We are super super dope and stuff like that. But it's just like I think Miami is a great place for raw living, because they have avocados everywhere. They have mangoes everywhere. And when I was there for the Seafood and Wine Festival, and that's the space that I tell everyone to go. Yeah, I was a featured talent there. And I tell, when I went, it changed my perception. Like I was, I've been living in New York for the last 5-6 years, but when I went there and everybody was just like, oh, you're vegan? What you want to do?
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Like, what you want to do? You want to, what you want to do? Like, everybody was so like accepting, and most of the people haven't even seen my show. But when I told them what I did, they were just like, yes, come back to Miami. It's lit. I passed out all my cards because my goal was to gain more followers and things of that nature. So I have, business cards with my QR code on for people to just,
awesome.
yeah. So, but I know that it's coming. I know that it's coming. And, you know, I believe it because I am very passionate about it. And there's something, I'm forever a student, and I'm
Oh, me too.
thankful.
Lifelong learner.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for
Totally.
platforms like yours, and just thankful for platforms for anybody who even sees the asset that Vegan Pop Eats is.
I agree. We have a comment. Yes, they were great together. I imagine they're talking about you and your team there. Yes, I'm going straight to YouTube after this to watch. Yes, great content. Greeting. Maybe we should try and connect with Mayor Eric Adams, as he stated that he's all for promoting a vegan lifestyle.
I heard he eats fish.
Well, he did admit that recently.
So
He did admit that recently.
But
I was shocked. I mean, you could have knocked me over like with just a little like blow, you know, like a little puff. To be honest, when I read that, I do want to say two things about that. A lot of times we're kind of hard on people, and you know, I see this as, you know, I guess his personal, I don't know, personal struggle or whatever. And so, you know, some people look at this as, well, you know, that's horrible. And then the other way we could look at it too is that, you know, we would rather have, like, you know, I'm gonna exaggerate here and say, which I hope is not an exaggeration, but we would rather have the entire world to be imperfect vegans or imperfect plant-based eaters than to have currently in the US like 3% of us are vegans. You see what I'm saying? So you know, he's probably still on his journey for some reason. We don't know why he's still doing this. Some people have all kinds of reasons. And so that's really what I just wanted to contribute to that, because I was super shocked.
But for me, it's like I said, Vegan Pop Eats is about meeting where you are in your vegan space.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, okay, say that you are, like what JL just said. Say that you're a pescatarian going towards veganism.
Yeah.
Don't say that you're a vegan and then
it was a shock,
like, oh, and by the way, I get a side of fish. No,
I was shocked. You know, and then I was wondering, well, what is it? Is it like a social thing? Like, is it that, you know, some people feel like when they're out and about and they feel like social something that they have to do it? Like, I was really confused.
I don't know, but he had an event up here I think a couple weeks ago that I was invited to. And I honestly thought that it was going to be like an event where he's inviting, you know, the plant-based people, and we have the opportunity to where he's either, you know, wanting more ideas because, you know, he's doing the, vegan lunches in the schools and things of that nature.
Fridays,
but it turned out to be, he was there for like maybe, I'm gonna say about 10-15 minutes. He said his speech or whatever the case may be.
Made an appearance.
Then it was a panel of, you know, Angela Yee, the woman over City Harvest, and one more, and then there was a moderator. And I was just, you know, if I would have knew it was that type of event, I probably wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have went because that's not how it was given to me.
Yeah.
Because when I go somewhere, I always go with their mind that it has to be purposeful. And for me, my mind was like, okay, well, I'm about to be here. How many of these people about to be on my show?
Right. Networking. Yeah.
And it was no opportunity for that. And it was no opportunity to get to him, even though I do have contact with his assistant. But his assistant is like, oh, he doesn't do one-on-ones, but I can invite you to, you know, whatever. But this is not to be a bashing of the mayor. But, you know, for me, I would rather be connected to people who are genuinely, you know, about that life. And I'm not saying that he's
all in. Yeah, no, I was shocked. I really thought he was all in because I mean, there's this book that, you know, he published, and I've heard him on a podcast or two. And honestly, I was super blown away by that.
Yeah.
So, we have this comment here. Question comment. What are your thoughts of living in Miami as a raw vegan? I'm hearing it's not as convenient as living in New York. I think you touched on that, but I don't know if you wanted to say anything more.
But yeah, I think with Miami really changed my perspective, as in me wanting to be closer to a vegan community, because I think that being immersed in a vegan lifestyle, because the lifestyle is, you know,
Head to toe.
fashion, there's this and
Head to
this.
toe.
But in New York I can show you all places to eat all day.
Yeah.
But I want to show you the whole, gamut, because there's a vegan fashion house in LA. A showroom
Oh,
in
LA
LA.
is,
They do
yeah,
vegan.
they're way ahead of us.
Yeah, they do vegan fashion shows.
They're way ahead of us. Well, I want to move to Florida too, by the way.
Where are you?
I'm still in the Northeast, about an hour from Boston, and I'm really getting ready.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've said this, so oof, whoever sees this. But I am really planning to get out of here.
Yeah.
Shall we say, but just after the summer solstice, which is
Girl,
pretty soon.
Too.
Pretty soon.
That's
well, I'm gonna have to connect with you because we can chat about that offline.
Because
but,
you know who one great vegan is, right?
Yeah, she's out west
she
right
just
now.
moved to Miami.
No, I just shared her post. Look at my stories.
She's in Miami. I met her at
heavens.
the Seafood and Wine Festival, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" She was like, "I just moved here."
Oh heavens! You just made my
Yeah,
day.
there's a lot of people who have moved
another
down
time.
there.
You speaking to me is making my day, and now you're telling me that Gabrielle just went on there. I just shared her recipe, and she wrote me a message to say that the full recipes are coming out soon or something. Like I kid you not. Oh,
like,
she's
when
awesome.
I say she's so dope,
she and her husband are adorable.
Yes.
They're so adorable.
She's down there. SoFlo Vegan is down there. Jenny Lee Molina, she's the publicist for the Seafood and Wine Festival. Like, when I say that they really showed up and showed out, it was like Miami is the business. I don't care what nobody says. And
gosh, I might have to move back there.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm honestly thinking about it because of the weather, because of the opportunities.
That's where I was before I moved up here.
Yeah, and they're very health conscious, and they're very like, let's be beautiful.
I may have to consider this.
I
may have to consider this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna message you about another person who just moved down there, who is all into this world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna message you after.
Perfect.
We have another comment, ladies. How do you keep your B12? Are you just supplementing? So I do supplement with a organic vegan whole food supplement, and then there are other foods that do have B12. My understanding, for example, like kombucha, and you can get it there. I've actually measured my B12 level when I was consuming a lot more kombucha than I am right now, and I would put it into Chronometer, the I don't know, the calorie app or the nutrition app, and or you can use the one online, chronometer.com, and I would see my B12 number would go right up. So you can get it various.
Start doing more kombucha.
You can get it various ways. There are a couple other ways. My understanding is spirulina also has some levels of B12. But I personally do use a vegan organic supplement. I don't know if you wanted to comment on that, Angela.
I do supplements. Right now I do a multivitamin liquid form. I do iron, I do B12, I do spirulina, I do turmeric. I do so many that I throw in the bag, in the smoothie. So I'm just, and I do it in liquid form because I'm really not a pill popper like that.
Yeah, no, but many people prefer the liquid form, and they do like it's sublingual, so they just put it under their tongue.
Right.
I've heard that's quite shall we say effective.
Yes. But yeah, so but yeah, that's how I do it. And then I'm about to start getting like more liquid B12 because I just want, I've never had my stuff tested, but I know what I feel like when something is off.
Right.
So I'll just, overdose on my supplements.
So we have a comment here. Social pressure is insane. Your mental has to be so strong to stay on this route. I agree with that person. Right. Someone else that I thought he was all into. Yeah, I did too. And then I thought he was, yeah, no, I know. And then someone else wants to go to Florida as well. There's Carolina.
We should just get a caravan.
We need to go. Well, actually, oh my gosh, Angela, you must be reading my mind because I have been trying to figure out how can I get someone to drive from the northeast of Florida around the summer solstice here to move me back down there. I kid you not.
You
I'm
are too
trying to figure out.
funny. Do
I'm,
you
I'm trying.
drive, don't you?
I do, but I just don't want to do it by myself. And I'm
Oh.
like,
Like, where are you?
man,
Are you in Boston or you know?
I'm at about an hour from Boston.
So where exactly are you?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you after.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
just don't
no
want
worries.
anyone on my doorstep. I'm in a
Heard,
small
heard.
place.
But yeah. I mean, I'm definitely thinking. I keep saying that this is my last summer in New York.
Well,
And I'm just
for
like,
me, I want this to be my last winter up here.
the only way that I tell the universe, I said, the only way that I would stay here is if you make it so that I could be bi-coastal. And you give me a financial situation that makes me feel like, yes, because I love living in Brooklyn.
It's
but
beautiful.
At this point, I just really, for me to level up the way that I envision the level upness, I really need to be in a space that is going to support that and make it so, and make it where I don't have to wait another 2 or 3 years in order for it to occur.
You know why? You know why? Because you're qualified and you're ready.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. That's how I personally see it.
Yeah. I'm so ready. Like, that's like one of my, woe is me type situation is like, oh my God, I'm just so ready.
You're qualified.
I
you're
know
qualified
that
and you're ready.
It's supposed to happen. And I'm just, this year is about building that. And this year is about, hopefully the people who really are rocking with Vegan Pop Eat shows up for me when they are, reposting my stuff, or they're, engaging with the content that I'm putting out in order for that to be so, because it only takes a few. Like, my goal is just to get to 10,000, because 10,000 is the valuable number for like the brands and things like that to check.
You will. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you to get there. I'm going to do my part. I know we only recently connected, but I'm going to do my part. Seriously. We have a comment.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna ramp up my sharing. Like I told you, I just shared Gabrielle today.
Yes,
she wrote me a message. Yeah, she wrote me a message. So here we go. Funny, because meat eaters are low in B12 as well, but no one ever talks about that. Yeah, that's the thing. Let's see. I do all of these, but new to this. Yes, I have liquid too. Okay. Let's see who else we have here. I'm about to hop on that train as well.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, this person says B12 analogs are in some supplements. I found out as well. 10,000 and beyond. Yeah.
Yes.
We have a commenter. All the vegans are real.
Yeah. Because I want to be somewhere where I could just, reach up in my tree and pull a lemon down and just be like a slow-mo commercial. Like,
I have so many links to send you after this this conversation.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you have me like just adding up the people I'm going to be messaging you about. I'll just send you the links to their pages.
Absolutely.
And you can check them out as to what what they're doing down there.
And any way I can be an asset to you, I'm down for it, because I really,
thank you.
I've been in several rooms. I met you when Clubhouse was popping.
Yeah, like last year. I started a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, just over a year ago I started.
And what you're doing is amazing. And
thank you.
I was, I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you even wanted to talk to me, because
of course,
it's just,
yeah.
I guess I don't get caught up on my hype, because I still see it as I'm just at the beginning. But I do know that I have, grown in the space, and I do know that I'm an asset, and I always whenever I slide to someone, I always be like, how can I be an asset to you, before I'm like, well, can you do this, or whatever the case may be.
Right. Reciprocity. Yeah. I agree with you. Someone else says here, it feels as though it feels as though everyone is winning in Florida.
But I'm kind of hesitant, because Florida's a red state.
Don't worry about that. You'll be fine. I'm serious. You'll be fine. So tell us, please, what are there any future projects that you want to share with us at the moment? I know you've been dropping, hints along our conversation here, but are there any, I guess, anything you want to share about what you're planning for the future at this time?
Well, for the future, I'll still be doing my IG lives because I found that it was amazing to be able to connect to these different people, and I don't have to, I can connect to the UK, I can connect to,
Oh, yeah,
different places like
totally.
that. And
Totally.
of course, season 4 will be starting. I'm going to the Vegan Women's Summit the first
Oh,
week of
oh my
April.
gosh.
Yeah.
I saw your live. Sorry, I saw your live with Miyoko.
Yeah.
And you were saying that you would connect there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this Angela is
Like,
everywhere.
I met Miyoko up
You're
here in New
so
York at the Plant Based
amazing.
Expo. That's where I met her. So yeah, I'll
Amazing.
slide. Girl, if I got 10 seconds, I'd be like, can I get what you want to do? But Miyoko's is super dope in person. She
It was
came.
so nice to feel the vibe between you
Yeah.
all, to be honest with you. It was
Yeah.
nice.
So she with her, because I met her in real life. So
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
and Jennifer Stolcevich, she's going to be on the 21st in this month, because Monday and Tuesday, my
Amazing.
lives, I'm celebrating the women in history and stuff like that. And she's over
Yeah.
the Vegan Women Summit. So I'll be out there because
Beautiful.
after I got a dose of seafood and wine festival, now I've just been, wanting to be at any kind of vegan space or event that
Totally.
I can commune with people who are similar to what I'm doing. And closed mouths don't get fed, so it's important to
Yeah.
be in spaces that people who are really making it shake, maybe they'll see different things, because Jennifer is an advocate of mine, because anytime I'm in the same space where she'll be like, have you seen her show, have you seen her
Oh,
show,
that's so
so
awesome. I love that.
she's super dope. And yeah, my goal is to get to 10,000 this year, or before the summer is over. That's what the
You
goal is.
can. You
And
will.
for more people to really watch the show and to
Yeah.
share it and tell, I just asked you to tell 5 friends.
Yeah.
That's it. Just tell
Yeah.
5 friends, and,
Yeah.
run those numbers up, because the more eyes that see what I'm doing is the more that I'm able to do more in the community. Because,
I
I have,
agree.
big dreams. I
Yes.
eventually want to open up a vegan space where, it's like a
Ooh.
vegan lounge with, CBD and
Oh,
spirits and all that other stuff. There's just different
I
things
want
that
to
I
be
want
there.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We need it. We need
yeah,
it
and I
so
really just want to
much.
be in those types of spaces. And I really want to, get to the American dream, and I want to be able to give back to others as well, because I know what it
Yes.
feels like when, someone's not checking for you and you have to lead your own
Mm-hmm.
way. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
always, anyone who wants to talk to me, you can slide in my DMs. I don't, you see me now, I'm just running my mouth. So it's just
I
it's just one
love
of
it.
those things where,
Yeah.
I want everyone to win, and I want everyone to, really know that being in this space is dope. And the more of
Yeah.
us over here is the more that we can, you know, be thankful for the planet that we're on, because if we keep going the way that we're going, where we gonna live? Where we going?
I know.
It's gonna
I
be a wrap.
know. I know. And well, we have a commenter. She's amazing. Yes. Thank you all so much. Everyone who's joining live or on the replay. Yeah. And Angela, what I love too is that you are in this like a give and take. You are giving. And yes, you want to receive, you want to take. It's an exchange. I heard a woman say on her Instagram live one time that, for example, like she charges for her services. She's in the decluttering organization world.
Mm-hmm.
And she said something along the lines of, she charges for her services because it is an even exchange of energy. And that resonated with me so much. And I've told several people about that because, I just feel that's just so beautiful and so important, and so I think that's really what you are asking for. And I feel like you deserve it. That's
Oh, thank
really
you.
what I feel like you deserve it. So, I want to ask you, Angela, where are the best places, or what's the best method or methods for people to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments, etc.?
Well, you can slide in my DMs at Vegan Pop Eats too. And then I have a link tree on there where if you need my email address, which is veganpopeats@gmail.com. Yeah, you can slide in my DMs. I answer all my DMs. And if you slide in my emails, I answer all emails, because my pet peeve is whenever someone sends an email and they don't answer it. So I try to, for the most part, I'm on it. Like, oh, someone sent me something. Let me get on. Let me get on it. But yeah, that's the best way to connect with me. I'm always on Instagram. I'm over there on TikTok too, giggling and jiggling. And,
Awesome.
and I'm on Twitter, and I'm
You are.
also on YouTube, but you'll find me on Instagram for the most part. You can send me an email, and if you feel like Vegan Pop Eats adds value to your life, share my shit.
I love it. So we have a comment. We're a community and we all need each other's motivation.
Absolutely.
Yes, she does. I agree. Thank you for those comments there.
Yes.
So Angela, I want to thank you so very much for sharing this time with us, for this beautiful conversation, high vibrations, high energy. And I want to ask you to wrap this all up and put a bow on it for us, please. And just share with us your final thoughts. Thank you.
Well, my final thoughts are, Angel, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me and seeing the value that I give.
Yes.
Thank you for even wanting to, hear my opinions, because that matters to me a lot, because, when you're in this type of space, not that I need validate. I'm not a person that needs to be validated like that. I'm an only child.
We all do.
We all do. But for me, that's just never been my thing. Like, I don't need a cosigner, because what I say, I don't need a cosigner because my credit is good. So I don't, but I do enjoy confirmation. I don't need validation, but I do enjoy confirmation. And I've been thankful enough that people that has, been on my first live, like Sunshine, Adavi, they show up. Like whatever I'm talking about. I could be standing here with my finger in my nose and Sunshine will pop in like, hey girl, what you doing? And I'm just so like grateful for that, because, when you get into, being like a public figure and stuff like that, it's important that people, like what you're giving. And I'm just thankful enough that, the idea that I, created, that there's a need for it. There is a need for it. And
totally, I agree.
I'm just, I'm super thankful for the people who came on today.
Me too.
And I'm super thankful for you. And I'm just, I'm grateful, because, a year and a half, and it has surprised me, because I never really sit down and be like, oh yeah, I've done da 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 da. In any case, if you really talk to me, you'll be like, she talked to so and so.
I know.
She doesn't believe that it took me, I had to sit down and write a list. And when I wrote the list out, I was like, oh,
I love that.
I did do something in this year and a half. So
celebrate your victories. I was
I'm
just
listening
to someone. I was just listening to a podcast today by a vegan, brown vegan.
Yes!
Shout out to you, brown vegan. I love her.
Yeah.
And she was talking about, celebrating your victories. And I applaud you for doing that.
Yeah. But I'm learning, because I'm humbled by it, because, it's just one of those things that is just like, dang, I didn't, I knew, but let me preface this, that like, I knew that I had something.
Yeah, you have a lot of talent. You have a lot of talent.
I didn't know that it would be this. And so I am excited for what the future is for Vegan Pop Eats. I'm excited for the people that I'm getting to meet. I'm surprised, and I'm excited for the people that I have met, and I'm super excited for my support system and the support system that I will soon be having. And I'm just excited that I'm betting on myself. So
totally.
That's what I'm really, excited about, that I'm betting on myself, even though, there's good days and there's bad days, and there's more good days than there are bad days. But at the same time, I'm I'm proud that I bet on myself, and I'm proud that when it's all said and done, I can say that I didn't conform.
No, and I that's what I love. Like I said, you're sashing down some sidewalk in New York City. I'm like, oh my gosh, you go, girl, you go.
I call that the thigh meat.
Oh,
Thigh meat.
oh, I love it. Yes. So, Angela, I just want to thank you so much again for spending this time with us. And I am going to save this live on IGTV, my feed and stories, and then I'm going to message you after.
Awesome.
And we have a comment here, God's plan. That's beautiful.
That's
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sunshine. Thank you so much, Dreamy Sunshine. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you for sharing this beautiful energy, these high vibrations here with Angela and myself. And yeah, so we're going to like wrap this up now, put a bow on it, and I will message you in a moment.
Thank y'all so much for coming on, and make sure y'all go to YouTube and be a subscriber for Vegan Poppy so you can catch up on seasons 1 through 3. And season 4 should be dropping in April. And let's get this done.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. You can do it, Angela. You can do it.
Thank you so much.
And you are doing it, and you will do it. So listen, thank you so much again. And I'm going to close this out now, and I'll message you in a moment.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care, Angela. Thanks. Bye-bye.